Hey guys, we're going to start off with our warm-up. We have a side lunge shuffle. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a big step out to the side, lean your weight over one side and then shift it to the other and then skip over. So you can go side to side like I'm doing here, or you can just go straight down a hallway or whatever kind of space you have in your home. Make sure you sit your hips back and get a nice stretch in that inner thigh. Next we have a child's pose to seal stretch. Hands and knees onto the floor. You're going to bring your hips back, get a good stretch, and then bring your hips forward, chest up, head is up. And you're just going to shift back and forth. Make sure drop your chest down, bring your hips back on that child's pose. And then you could bring your hips forward, wiggle them a little closer to the ground, shoulders away from your ears in each position. So this is great for stretching out the low back and the hips. For the last part of our warm-up, we have a roll-up to a figure 4 stretch. So start by hugging your knees, round your spine, look into your belly button, roll it back, roll up, and then drop one knee out to the side and then one leg straight in front. Get a good stretch, reach forward. Make sure when you're rolling back and up, you want to get each vertebrae of your spine imprinted onto the mats. And then when you reach forward for that stretch, don't force the stretch, just relax into it, and it'll get better by each one. For our first circuit, we're going to start off with Superman rows. So if you have a resistance band, tie it onto something, and you're going to stay in a Superman position with your legs extended behind you. Squeeze your glutes, arms straight out in front, and then you're going to squeeze those shoulder blades, pin those elbows to the sides of your body. This is going to work your lats, so everything behind you and on the side of your back. But if you do not have a resistance band with you, you can also use a towel. So with the towel, stay in the Superman position, keep that towel pulled apart nice and taut, and you're just going to make that same motion that I was doing with the resistance band. Still squeezing your elbows, shoulder blades back and together, reaching them towards the side of your body. Next, toe tap to squat jumps. So you're going to use your mat kind of like in a ladder style, and you're just going to tap your feet, just switch forward and back all the way to the side, and then once you get to the end of your mat, take a big leap over it and then a big leap back, and then just continue tapping. If your knees bother you with the jumping, then you can still do the sideways tapping, but then instead of doing the squat jump, you can step over the mat and land in a squat and then step back. Next, we have a reverse lunge and kick. So you're going to take a big step back, bend the knee that's behind you, and then bring it forward to a kick. Flex that foot on the kick, and you're going to alternate. Here I'm doing 3 lunge to kicks and then switching. You can do that, or you can switch with each lunge and kick, however you want, but try to stay balanced, keep that core nice and tight. Finishing up our first circuit, we have straight leg sit-ups to a shoulder press. So grab some dumbbells and you're going to lay back, roll it up, and then as you sit all the way up, press those weights straight up. Make sure to roll each vertebrae of your spine, press it into your mat on the way down, and peel it off on the way up, just so that you don't hurt your back. But another way to do these, you can bend your knees, or you could even wedge your feet under a couch if you're having trouble with the straight leg sit-ups. And you do them in the same manner. Try to roll it up, use that core, and then press those arms straight up for your shoulder presses. Now our active recovery for circuit 1, we first have Russian twists. You can balance on your butt, lift your feet up and twist, or you can bring your feet to the mat. Just make sure no matter which version you do, brace your core. Now for round 2, active recovery, we have plank jacks. You're going to be on your forearms, elbows underneath your shoulders, hips tucked under. Jump your feet out together and in together, keeping those abs nice and tight. Or as a modified version, you can tap your toes side to side. Round 3, active recovery. Teaser leg lowers. So if you can, start with your legs straight up and balance, and alternate dipping one leg straight down at a time. Keep that core nice and tight. Or you can bend your knees and just tap one toe down at a time. Keep that core in nice and tight. Or if you're having trouble with that, place both feet on the ground, and then you're just going to alternate lifting each leg up. For our circuit 2, we're going to start off with Curtsy to side lunge. So grab your dumbbells right in front of your shoulders, take a step back and across, bend those knees at 90 degrees, and then that Curtsy lunge, you're going to spring your leg off to the side into a side lunge. Take a big enough step so that one knee is bent and the other leg is completely straight on that side lunge. So not only are you getting your glutes and hamstrings, but we're also getting those inner thighs and quads as well. Next, we have single leg bent over rows. So you're going to grab your dumbbells, hinge forward, balancing on one leg, pin those elbows up, squeeze those shoulders together behind you, and you can switch halfway through, or you can just switch with each round that we do. If the balancing is too much, you could tap your toe behind you for extra balance. Third, we have plank up-down push-ups. So you're going to start in a forearm plank, pelvis is tucked under. You're going to walk it up to the top of a push-up position, perform a push-up, and then go back down into that forearm plank. Make sure with this one, keep that pelvis tucked under, abs are engaged. That'll help protect your lower back. But if this is too difficult for you, I do recommend dropping your knees to the floor, and then you'll get the same effect. So you can go into your forearm plank, modified, walk it up to the top of a push-up, and do that push-up. Next, we have leg circle raises. So you're going to lay on your back, hands underneath your butt, and then you're going to legs straight, lower your legs down and together, and then open them out, circle them back up to the top. Make sure when you're doing this, you keep your lower back glued to the ground. Make sure that pelvis, hips, or back does not lift off, and don't try to lower them as low as you can. If your back starts to arch off, that's where you stop. And then you can do reverse. Now for our active recovery, we're going to start off with tricep dips. So you can grab a chair or your couch, have your hands right beside your hips, and then legs straight out. Brace that core, squeeze those arms straight as you press up. Keep your rib cage pulled in. If this version with the straight legs is too difficult, you can bend your knees in, and then just make sure drop your butt straight down underneath you and straighten those arms as you press all the way up. Our second active recovery, overhead squats. Have your feet hip to shoulder width apart, toes slightly turned out. Arms are straight up at the side of your ears, and then do the best you can. Keep your chin up, chest up, and try to drop your butt down into a squat. If you are having difficulty with this, you can step your feet out a little wider and just test out to see what foot position that you need to do so that you can drop your butt down into a squat without hunching your back. Now for our last active recovery, we have Superman swimmers. So you're going to elevate your legs, arms, hands are together straight in front of you. And then you're going to swim your arms back, close your legs as you bring your arms back. So stay elevated, make sure squeeze your butt. It'll help protect your lower back and elongate your neck. Make sure your head isn't drooping down or arching back up. And just keep those arms and legs completely straight. Bye. Thanks for joining me.